Welcome to the Generation Social Change podcast. I'm your host, Antonina, and today we're talking about being in a right relationship with yourself. Most of us go our whole life seeking right relationships, friendships, approval from family, but what if you knew the most important thing was being in right relationship with yourself? Being grounded, being connected, being present with you. You know that saying, what good is a man who gains the world and loses his soul? Now, this is not about gender, but this is about the reality and the truth of that statement. If you have all these people, if you have all these accolades, if you have all these materials, but you don't have presence with yourself, connected to your soul, what good is that? I think about how much of my life was spent seeking outside relationships and feeling enough in relationship, feeling, am I good enough for these friends? Am I approved by my family? And when I took all of that off the table and started to focus on being in right relationship with myself, my life has transformed. My energy has transformed. I am not on the sidelines of my life. I am at the forefront of my life. If relationships ebb and flow, if they don't align, if family doesn't approve, if the outside reality doesn't match what I think and feel, I'm good because I'm in right relationship with myself, and I can surrender attachments and control that is not my business. My job is to be in right relationship with myself. So really diving in to give yourself permission, like, am I in right relationship with myself? And giving yourself permission to prioritize your relationship with yourself as the most important thing. This week I did a class on Self-Healing 101 class, and this is really important foundation to healing, which is understanding that life is not happening to you, it's coming from you. So we may not have programmed ourselves and conditioned ourselves to think certain thoughts and feelings and act in a certain way through habits and behaviors. A lot of this is conditioning from when we are young. But as we start to awaken thoughts and feelings and actions, and you learn, if you take my Self-Healing 101 class, that you are like the center of your orbit, and the energy that you resonate and the energy that you put out is also magnetizing the same back. So if we trying to be and control and align with the outside world, our real job is to anchor in and align with, what do I think? What do I feel? What am I doing? What habits are these aligned with me as a whole, at my values, what I stand for? And choosing to, regardless of what you think and feel, because I'm okay with being a stranger to someone else, but I'm not okay with being a stranger to myself anymore. And that was something I had to learn through decades of suffering and depression, and not getting the approval or being ignored or doubted, disbelieved by my family, for business, for who I am, for what I stand for. And a lot of suffering came around with relationships. A lot of suffering came around that. But when I started to prioritize my relationship with myself and being in right relationship with myself, it's me and me in this life. So now I have the alignment with my soul, alignment with my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, my core values with the Lord, that I have this joy. So if you come into my life and it starts to lower my energy or shift my thoughts that is not in alignment with me, or force me to, I don't know, lower my standards or be someone who I'm not willing anymore to sacrifice myself to be in right relationship with you or anyone else. I'm only willing to connect with people, engage with things, discuss things that are also in alignment with what it means to be in right relationship with myself. So I don't need your approval. I don't need anyone's approval. Do I have my own? Am I aligned with me? It's what would it be like this week, this month, this year if you prioritize being in a right relationship with yourself? Where it wasn't about friends or partners or the world's approval, but it was like, yeah, this life is aligned with me, regardless of anyone else's opinion. This life is aligned with me. My thoughts are aligned with me. How I feel is aligned with me. The things that I do on a daily basis is aligned with me. And so anyone, observers, spectators, family, whoever, you name it, their perception, their judgment is all a projection of them. So am I going to start to contort myself like I used to do to get their approval? Absolutely not. Under any condition, okay? And I'm willing to navigate any resistance that comes up around that every single time, because I lived in a space of being sacrificial to myself. I would sacrifice myself, stifle my voice, my feelings, my desires, my needs, my actions to accommodate the outside world. And now I do not do that anymore. Through many rock bottom moments, if you've been journeying in this Generation Social Change podcast and these discussions, you know a little bit about my story, but it brought me to a rock bottom moment of, and I've had several, especially in the last decade, but of not wanting to be here, and of being suicidal and being so depressed for a long time and feeling so robbed of my spirit and my vitality and my energy. And so coming out of that was a choice to no longer prioritize other people and to genuinely prioritize myself for a lifelong endeavor, which is my life. And so I'm grateful to not be a fawn and a martyr anymore in my own life. Yes, this can be isolating at first, but you got to learn to really march to the beat of your own drum. And if there are things that fly with you or don't fly with you, you need to be very clear in your boundaries. This works for me and this doesn't work for me. And move in that and be able to let your energy in the entire emotional spectrum, if you're angry, communicate that. It's not projecting it onto other people or dumping. It's being very clear that that does not work for you. And being just whatever your stance on anything is in your life. And we're not talking about stance on outside beliefs and other people's reality. No, the stance over your own life. The positioning of who you are in your own life. Are you going to knock over because someone has a different thought about you or judgment about you or is a hater towards you? Or are you going to be grounded in who you are and start to focus, regardless of that, focus on what's real for you? Being in right relationship with you, not giving your time, your money, your energy, your well-being, your love to anyone that is not in right relationship, that reflects you being in right relationship with you. So under no conditions am I willing to sacrifice myself to be in relationship with someone. No way. I know what that looks like when you sacrifice yourself and you are not in right relationship with yourself and you try to be in right relationship with everyone else. You don't have a place in your life. You are at the hem of everybody else. And that's not a fun place to be. Not at all. No. Being at the helm of other people, living by the whim of what everyone else says or goes or does or needs. No. There are 8 billion people on the planet. And if the one person that you focus on being in right relationship with is you, and that alignment in mind, in body, in heart, and spirit, and conviction is going to give you the energy, the currency, the wherewithal, the discernment to navigate any situation that you are presented with, any experience in this current reality, because you are always going to choose yourself. And I think a lot of what we do here in the realm of Life Well Made is it's all about coming back to being in alignment with yourself and your source and your power. And that's really the mission with Generation Social Change is we have been trying to get everyone else's approval and kind of control this outside world, but really here we shift and control our inside world and let that energy impact as it needs to attract or repel whatever needs to be in this current reality. It's in my heart and my spirit is very simple. Be in right relationship with yourself. That's it. That's the focus. That's the direction. Live in accordance with you and your values and your mission and your vision, and do not sway for anybody or anything. Because the person that will feel the most impact in a negative way is yourself. So, even as a child, children do right by themselves. It's only through conditioning do you start to abandon what you feel to get your approval. Abandon your own thoughts to align with someone else's thoughts. Abandon your needs, your actions, your desires, your goals and dreams to what? Live in a lower reality? No. How can you be in right relationship with yourself at any given moment? In any area of your life. If it means taking a different job or less money to be in right relationship with yourself. If it means leaving relationships and having less people around you to be in right relationship with yourself. If it means removing yourself from your family of origin to be in right relationship with yourself. If it's taking time for you, if you're a mom or a dad, if you have a big family, so that you can be in right relationship with yourself, this is important. Then you can show up for others more effectively in a way that's aligned and mutually fulfilling. But always know it's you and you. So when things come in or things go out, you still have yourself. You're not going to abandon yourself. You're not going to devalue yourself. You're going to be there for yourself. So if you're seeking, if you're saying, how do I get into right relationship with myself? Starting to acknowledge what you feel and think. And I think the Self-Healing 101 class is a great place to start developing self-awareness around what's going on within your inner world. And so that it's not about changing the outside world or the outside circumstances. It's really getting present with what's going on within you and knowing these are my thoughts, these are my feelings, and these are my actions or habits through mindfulness. We become mindful of these things. This is a practice that becomes a way of life. And then we shift our thoughts and feelings and actions about the thing. We don't try to control the outside world. So if it's in career, if it's in health, if it's in finance, if it's in your fulfillment, if it's in your faith, we can't control these outside things. We think we can, but it's really in shifting the internal world and being present and letting the energy within us shift, the energy within us be in right alignment, And then the outside world will always mirror that. Yes, there may be a delay in that shift, but can you keep attuning to what's real within you and being in right relationship with yourself? I see grown adults, and I have lived this way as well, but I see grown adults in any capacity of life, whether it's online or in person, try to get other people's approval instead of just being boldly in who they are, standing boldly, speaking boldly, making decisions, taking action boldly. If you don't agree with me, if you don't like me, if you don't align with me, then fine. What I care about is you being in right relationship with yourself. Just stay true to you. Just stay true to you. So, and I think when you have two people that are in right relationship with themselves, you know, is this person aligned with me or not? You're not trying to get this person or people or situation to line up with you. You're lining up with you and letting that kind of work itself out. And you get to say, this is right for me or this is not right for me. This friendship aligns with me or this doesn't. This career, this job aligns with me or it doesn't. This way of doing things aligns with me or it doesn't. And really understanding discernment is your power. You get to choose. You get to choose. So this is about being sovereign in your life. And it all comes down to the relationship with yourself, first and foremost, okay? And with the Lord. Because when you're trying to get into a right relationship with yourself, you're not going to figure that out externally. Because the people outside of you will confuse you. No one is just genuinely, authentically, I can't say no one, because there are people that can be of service to you, but they have to be without ego, without projection, to see you and be of service. But you want to be able to do this for yourself, ultimately have your own agency, being able to make the decisions to see for yourself. You don't want to be an adult still asking other adults, what do you think of this? And what do you think of this? Unless you're working on a project, you are not the project. You get to decide for yourself, does this work for me? Does this align with me? Do I agree with this? And taking back your power, stepping into your leadership, and doing the damn thing because you're in right relationship with you. So I'm happy to be in this place because for many years I was not in right relationship with myself. I was trying to be in right relationship with you and you and you and you. And then listening on to negativity and resistance and people that were happy for me to be in not good relationship with myself so I can serve them in whatever capacity, whether it was friends or career or, yeah, no worries. No, I would never forfeit myself anymore or sacrifice myself. I'm always going to prioritize myself and be in right relationship with myself, even if that takes a day or two to, like, oh, I made a decision or I connect with some people that they have revealed that it's not in right relationship, it's not in alignment, and maybe one day it was and the next day it wasn't, but I'm always going to check in with me, because if something's out of alignment with me, I'm not going to try to control or change them. I'm going to say this just doesn't align with me. And there's a lot of freedom in that. There's a lot of letting go to get to this point, but always choosing self and choosing the Lord. And ultimately you will come into right relationship with yourself on a daily basis if you keep choosing you, if you keep choosing what's inside of you. If you keep repressing, ignoring, devaluing, not listening to your inner world to be in right relationship with other people, you're leaving yourself behind. And this is the opposite of what we want. We want to be able to step into right relationship with ourselves. So if this conversation resonates with you, I'd invite you to watch the Self-Healing 101 class on YouTube. It's the video right before this one. And this is about transforming your life from the inside out. So very important class to step into and very important conversation to have with yourself. Am I in right relationship with myself. Only you know. Okay? Sat Nam and have a wonderful